everybody, what's going on? This is Justin with Stone Age Ball Pythons. I'm putting this video out today to show you this little device I made that helps me cut my styrofoam for shipping ball pythons. I've shipped them all across the country, and this is something new that I've discovered. I would normally do it by hand with a razor blade, with like something like this, a long razor blade, have it on the ground and drag it across. And it wasn't bad, but it was jagged and made a mess. So I found this method, and this method is using Nichrome 26 gauge wire. I'll let you see it. So I'll have the description or the link to buy this in the description below. It's 100 foot, 26 gauge Nichrome wire. I think it was like $7.29, and it's the same wire that's in your toaster. So if you just put voltage on it with this battery, it burns bright red, and you can slide the styrofoam straight through, and I give you a perfect cut every time. So what I got right here, this is a 3/4 millimeter. I took a paddle bit and I drilled an oversized hole underneath so we could feed the rod through, spin a nut on, and when it was all the way on, it would sit flush so it didn't stick out underneath this. Then we put the 3/8 all thread through, a washer down here, and then a nut to tighten it down so it's sturdy. And then if you look right here, I'm going to bring it in close for a sec so you guys take a look. All right, so we have our 3/8 all thread, we have our 2 nuts and our washer that's sandwiched in between. And we're going to take our Nichrome wire and we're going to feed it through this hole. And we'll leave a little tail out because we're going to twist it on itself like this. That will give some tautness to the wire. You want to do maybe about an inch. And leave yourself a little lead. Take this side, cut it about there. Then we're going to feed it down from the top. And I'll give this a little tug or whatever. And I'll just wrap it in on itself. If there's any kinks, try and pretty much straighten it out. And then we'll take this lead and put it through this connector and then fold it down on itself. Made it temporary just because this wire gets brittle with multiple uses and it can break. So you see that we have these 2 leads hooked up to each end, and then these will go to our battery terminal, and then this will heat up and get hot red, and then we just take our tape measure. We check the right height for what we're cutting. Tighten it down, hook it up to the battery, and then we just slide the styrofoam through. All right, so now you see how it's set up, how we feed the wire and how we attach it. We're gonna get it set to the right height. And for this demonstration, we're gonna do a 7x7 cut for top and bottom of my 7x7 boxes. And it's pretty much already there. I've been messing with it, taking it apart, maybe have it come down just a tad. And like I said, you can just mess with it and get the adjustments right. That's perfectly at 7. And then so what I did here is I just have a black and white wire, number 12 solid, and it just hooks up to the battery. And when we do that, see I kind of smoked. Turn off some lights real quick. You'll be able to see it bright red. See how it glows bright red? Pop this back on. Now I have a smaller piece already cut, ready to go. And we're just going to take it, and as you're sliding it through, just make sure you try and keep it level on this board. And we'll just slide it through. And then when we get done with this, we'll just take the slice that we just cut and feed it right through at the same height. And try not to stop when you're doing this. When you do stop, it'll melt holes up and down. So you see that. Not a bad cut. There's a little bruise in it, but once it's packaged, it'll do great. Alright, just take it, slide it through. Boom. And you see how quick you can get a bunch of pieces stacked up. My biggest problem was the stress of getting an order on a Sunday and having to build the whole box on a Sunday night to ship out Monday. I know it's not that big of a deal, but having all this ready is really a game changer. Going to save me a lot of time, especially when I get to shipping 30 plus snakes a year. It's going to add up, and then just take it off, and that'll shut it down. It's going to leave you with a nice stack of 7x7. So these are going to be the tops and the bottoms, and we'll have different cut sizes around the edges, like that. Yeah, make sure to subscribe. I'll have another video coming out that shows everything that I'm doing, or everything that I do when shipping a ball python. I mean, from start to finish, taping the box, labels, heat pads, filling, everything. I'll go in depth. I'll leave links for everything. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment below or reach out to me on Instagram. And I really appreciate you guys watching this video, and I hopefully this saves you a bunch of money and time when you're shipping your reptiles.